Breaking news! The Detroit Lions received some big news in the last few hours, and I need to bring it to your attention. An experienced linebacker could be joining the Lions at any moment. Will we see this signing in the next few days? I'll tell you everything I've learned so far. But before I continue, make sure you've already hit the like button if you've been a Detroit Lions fan for over 18 years. If you want, comment like this: "Go Lions! Let's go to the Super Bowl." Let's get straight to the point. The Detroit Lions have officially signed veteran linebacker Zack Cunningham and released Abraham Beauplan. Cunningham, a former second-round draft pick, is entering his 9th season in the NFL and has had a career full of ups and downs. Once considered a rising star, Cunningham was drafted by the Houston Texans in 2017 and made such an impression that he was given a $58 million contract extension in 2020, with $23 million guaranteed. That kind of deal only comes if you demonstrate great value on the field. But what happened after that? After receiving his big payday, Cunningham's production began to decline. He was eventually traded to the Tennessee Titans, where he only managed to appear in 10 games over 2 seasons. Injuries and inconsistencies plagued his tenure there, and his promising career trajectory began to fade. Still, his recent stint with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2023 stands out. He showed flashes of his old self during what many consider his best season since 2020. Ironically, after his departure, the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. In 2024, Cunningham had a short-lived spell with the Denver Broncos, where he played in only 7 games and recorded a mere 4 total tackles. This steep drop-off in performance has some fans wondering, what exactly are the Lions getting here? Well, the answer might not be as straightforward as it seems. Despite his dwindling numbers, Cunningham has something that many fringe roster guys don't: 9 seasons of NFL experience, solid special teams value, and a natural instinct for the ball. His pre-draft profile labeled him as a rangy, 3-down linebacker with a nose for the football, and although his tackling and strength have come under scrutiny, that innate play recognition still matters. His NFL comp was Alec Ogletree, a player known for his athleticism and ability to flow to the ball. What makes this signing interesting isn't just Cunningham's resume, it's the context. We're right on the eve of OTA activities, and the Lions are set to play the Hall of Fame game on July 31st, a full week earlier than last year's preseason schedule. Everything's been moved up. Players will have to prove themselves faster, adapt quicker, and carve out their roles with urgency. That puts Cunningham's signing in a very different light. Was Abraham Beauplan ever really in the plans? He had been bouncing on and off the team, largely serving on special teams with minimal impact. His departure doesn't shake the foundation of the roster, but Cunningham's arrival could. This might be more than a veteran depth addition. There's a real chance that Cunningham, if healthy and motivated, could push for a meaningful role, especially on special teams, where the Lions have historically valued performance over flash. Take Jalen Reeves-Maybin, for example, a linebacker many considered a liability in coverage, but his excellence on special teams kept him on the 53-man roster. Chase Lucas is another example. Underrated as a cornerback, but carved his path on special teams. That's how the Lions operate. They reward hustle, grit, and impact where it matters. So what does this mean for the linebacker room heading into OTAs and beyond? Are we looking at a legitimate competition brewing? Could Cunningham be more than just a camp body and potentially a secret weapon if he returns to form? Or is this simply a veteran flyer with no long-term upside?
That's the big question, and it's one only time, and training camp will answer. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Zack Cunningham joining the Lions? Is this a savvy move by Brad Holmes or just another camp body with a name? Now let's dig deeper into what Zack Cunningham's presence could mean for the Lions linebacker unit as we head into one of the most critical off-seasons in recent memory. This isn't just about whether he can still play, it's about what he represents and what he might disrupt. Cunningham enters Allen Park with a reputation that precedes him. When you've had a $58 million deal in your past, you're not walking into a locker room as just another guy. That pedigree carries weight, and for a Detroit Lions defense that's still refining its linebacker rotation, especially after a season where consistency at the second level wasn't always guaranteed, Cunningham's arrival might just set off a ripple effect. Let's start with his fit. Back when he was coming out of Vanderbilt, analysts like Lance Zierlein described Cunningham as a run-and-chase weak-side linebacker with the ability to thrive in a 4-3 scheme, exactly the system the Lions utilize. His downhill speed and pursuit were key traits that helped him lead the NFL in tackles in 2020. Yes, that's right, he led the entire league in tackles just a few years ago. That version of Cunningham was relentless, always around the ball, and possessed an elite football IQ. If the Lions can get even 70% of that version, they might have something here. But here's the twist. This isn't 2020 anymore. The last 2 years have shown a clear decline. Between his limited role in Tennessee and an unremarkable stint in Denver, questions around his durability, explosiveness, and even locker room fit have surfaced. The Lions are known for fostering a tight, hard-nosed culture under Dan Campbell. You don't survive here unless you buy into that identity. Cunningham's real test won't just be on the field, it'll be whether he can integrate into a room that values unity and resilience above all else. This move also raises questions about the younger linebackers. Guys like Zack Campbell, who are expected to take that next step, now face added pressure. While Cunningham may not directly threaten a starting role, his presence introduces a level of veteran competition that could impact reps during OTAs and into training camp. It's a subtle message from the front office. No one's spot is guaranteed, and experience still counts. And then there's special teams, a battleground where many roster spots are won and lost. Cunningham has always been a serviceable, if not standout, special teams player. If he can outperform the likes of other depth linebackers in that phase of the game, he could carve out a meaningful role. Remember, this team values versatility. Being able to contribute on multiple fronts is a surefire way to make the 53. Now zooming out, let's not forget the timing. The Lions are about to embark on a preseason journey that starts earlier than usual, thanks to their participation in the Hall of Fame game on July 31st. That extra game means more reps, more evaluations, and potentially more chances for fringe guys to shine or fail. Cunningham will get that opportunity early, and with organized team activities already beginning this week, there's no time for slow acclimation. He needs to be ready now. Fans might also be wondering about the ripple effect on roster construction. With Abraham Beauplan now waived, Cunningham's addition opens up strategic flexibility. Could this be a prelude to more moves? Are the Lions preparing for injuries or performance gaps by loading up on experience? Or is this a one-off insurance policy for camp? There's no clear answer yet, but the clues suggest that Brad Holmes is still tinkering with the balance between youth and veteran leadership. Cunningham's past also offers some cautionary tales. His fall from grace in Houston wasn't just about declining performance, it included questions about his discipline and commitment. The Texans eventually released him outright, which is no small move for a guy on a big contract. For Detroit, a team trying to shed years of instability and rebuild its identity, bringing in a player with such baggage isn't a small decision. It means they see something, maybe a reclamation project, maybe a leader who's matured, or maybe just a high-upside gamble. Whatever the case, this is more than just a headline about a roster shuffle. This is a moment that could define the dynamics of the linebacker core heading into a critical year for the Lions. Every rep at OTA matters. Every depth chart shift is scrutinized. Cunningham now steps into that spotlight, and whether he shines or fades could have big implications not just for him, but for everyone around him. So tell me, do you believe Zack Cunningham can still be a difference maker for Detroit? Or is this just another name on a long list of camp signings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and check out the videos on the screen for more in-depth Lions coverage. Go Lions!